Yeah, Tree is the most personal song on this album for me. It was the one song that I decided after sort of 3 weeks sitting in the studio to actually address, you know, the passing of my dad. On my arm, I've got, on my left arm, I've got a tattoo of a tree and it goes around my arm. And the reason why I have a tree on my arm is part of a tradition I have on most birthdays, is that I sit by a tree at the cusp of, that 11th hour, 59th minute, sit at a tree and just see my birthday in by saying a prayer and a lot of thank yous and just sort of like, just thinking about where I've been the whole year. And I've been doing that since I was 18. Anyway, long story short is that I'm kind of close to trees. I have a spiritual connection with trees. I'm a tree hugger, okay? I'm a tree hugger, there it is, I've said it. And when my dad passed, we buried him in, a cemetery, but we found a plot which was right under this beautiful tree. Just boom, and I was like, this is the one. And I spoke about that, it was the first time I spoke about it. I was sitting in a room. It was a late session, like 3 o'clock in the morning, me, Ben Hudson. There's a young lady called Grace on that song who's speaking in Xhosa, and her husband was there. And we were just chatting, and I just started to talk about that concept of, my dad and Tree. Ben played this riff, and as he was playing it, man, I was just sitting there with this look. I remember it was on a brown piece of paper. It was like a Nando's bag or something, the back of it, and I had this pen and I was just writing these words and these words. The song came in literally half an hour. It is a very personal song, it's the one song that I sort of talk to my dad, I talk to my family. But the first line is, someone tell my father that we're standing by his tree. The perspective was like, he's gone, man. I wish I could say this to him. And that's how the first lyric came, it was really sort of a love letter to him. It's like, someone tell my dad that I'm standing by his tree. Even though we miss him, we're glad that he was set free. He was really ill. My dad's a really proud man. He didn't want to be sick. He didn't want people fussing over him. Cody ChesnuTT, I'm a fan of, and there was an opportunity that he was in London, and I asked him if he would come and sing in it, and he did. At the same time, Ben Hudson was like, I'm friends with Audra Mae, and we'll see if she would like to sing it. And they both did it simultaneously and differently. And when we heard both songs, we were like, wow, both good. So I had this idea of, typical DJ is like mashed them together. And we did, and it really worked. I mean, they didn't know each other, didn't sing it together, and it just worked. And so Tree was born. Buyela ekhaya ezilalini, bangavuya